Hi, I'm Bill Holcomb and welcome to this easy autumn watercolor landscape tutorial for beginners. The materials needed for today are paper, the Arches or Fabriano 140-pound rough, brushes, rounds number 10, 6, 4 and 2, paints, Winsor blue, Winsor yellow, Scarlet Lake and light red. I start with a wash of your blue at the top in the middle, the sky area, just leaving little gaps here and there. Then come in with the Winsor yellow, coming down to the horizon area. But also you can continue that up a little bit further into the painting. Come down to your middle ground and foreground with that same color. And I've strengthened it a little bit because we're going to have a good variation of various colors for the autumn trees. Just dab those in using your number 10 brush at the moment, and then we vary. You mix your various colors that I've mentioned to produce different hues, variations in the pigment to achieve your autumn colors. So your Winsor yellow and your Scarlet Lake, and then eventually your Winsor yellow with light red, and even add in blue for the really dark colors, especially when we come to the tree trunks and limbs. Also, because leaves have fallen on the verge and the path, just drop in some of that color along those areas. Don't worry about going over the trunks because they're going to be very dark. So that's quite varied, and it will enable us, once that's dried, to drop in the trunks of the trees as we're doing now, using your smaller brushes, your number 2 and your number 4. Get nice thin limbs, branches for the trees, and little gaps here and there. Please remember to like and subscribe because it really helps us with viewings. And leave those little gaps here and there in the trunks of the trees where you'll be painting in some more leaves, and like we're doing now, and it makes it more realistic. You see, we've filled that gap and around it, and the trees are just slightly touching as they meet from each side of the bank, using a number 4 at this stage or a number 6, whichever you prefer. Still leaving just a tiny little bit of the blue at the top, because our interest is the trees, but that tiny little bit of blue helps push the eye up. And then you can strengthen the color of the tree trunks and limbs and play around with this, interesting shapes. You're not following a definite pattern of trees that you've seen in a photo or whatever, or one you've taken yourself. You're just making it up and achieving interesting shapes and doing enough to tell the story, as is often the case. And remember, these paints always dry lighter than when you first lay them down. And now we're using the scraping brush technique. You can use that for the tree leaves, and also for leaves that have fallen down on the path and the bank. As you see, I'm holding that brush at a flat angle to the paper and scraping it along. This is always very effective for painting trees and fallen leaves. So a nice variation of the colors that you have in the palette that we've already mentioned. Just mix that up and do one hue first and then dip into another one, fuse them together, and a little bit of interest along the path where either people have walked or where vehicles have come along the path, perhaps a farm vehicle here leading through some gates into a meadow perhaps. And I think we've done pretty well, and this is great practice, something like this. Please remember to like, subscribe and comment, because if you give comments it really helps us, it helps push us up in the viewings. And now we have a reveal. Just gently pull that tape off. These are quick, easy little studies that will really help you make progress. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.